What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the final playoff prediction video of this NBA season, the 2021 NBA Finals. And if you are curious, I am recording this on July 9th, the Friday, after Game 2 already concluded. Yeah, I know I'm a little late. I apologize. I've been busy. It's the same excuse I always have. But better late than never. We are going to get to see the Milwaukee Bucks or the Phoenix Suns win the NBA championship this year. A feat that, let me see here, the Bucks have done it one time, but the Phoenix Suns have never done it before. In fact, the last time the Suns made the finals was in 1993 with Charles Barkley, and they lost to Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. So it's been a while. I've literally never seen it. I was born in 1995. I've been watching basketball, or NBA basketball for that matter, since 2006. So it's been a while. I've never seen the Suns get this far. It's pretty cool that they're actually up 2-0. In case you're wondering what my prediction is, I think you can already guess, but we're just going to talk about the teams and get my thoughts and opinions out there. What I want to do is run through both teams and talk about what a championship would mean to them, how they're playing throughout the playoffs, and how I think they're going to wrap up. So we're going to start with the Phoenix Suns, home court advantage. Devin Booker has been leading the team throughout the entirety of the playoffs. I know a lot of the talking heads like to give the credit to another guy, but Devin Booker is averaging 27 points, 6 rebounds, and nearly 5 assists per game on a solid 44-35 shooting split as a 24-year-old playing in his first ever postseason. Booker has been exceptional. Now, I do agree, there have been times where he's getting a little too ISO heavy and he takes bad shots, but he makes those same shots sometimes, so I think he's just playing his game, and if they go in, they go in. If they don't go in, well, that sucks. I would like to see Devin Booker get more of his shots in the normal range of the offense, like off of a normal play, rather than just him holding the ball for 10 seconds and taking a tough fadeaway, but hey, it's working. Devin Booker winning a championship would make me incredibly happy because I've been on his, I've been a fan of his ever since he entered the league. And one of the most common talking points amongst NBA YouTubers is the whole misconception about empty stats. Devin Booker dropped 70 points on the Celtics, but it didn't matter because the Suns were no good. He averaged 26 points, 6 assists per game as a 22-year-old, but it didn't matter because the Suns weren't any good. No one thought he could perform in the playoffs. Everyone just assumed he's a bad defensive player who puts up empty shots. But here he is, in the finals, on path to win a championship. I think that's completely going to flip the narrative upside down. He wasn't voted into the All-Star game this year, fun fact. He was put in as an injury replacement, but he wasn't even voted into the All-Star game, if you can believe that. Because people, they don't watch the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns are not mainstream. Even in Arizona growing up, the Phoenix Suns were not the most popular team. The Lakers were more popular, and then when I got older, the Golden State Warriors were more popular. It's not a very popular franchise, but I love it, and I know there's a very rabid fan base that also love it. Anyways, Devin Booker, let's win it. Chris Paul, the veteran, the legendary Hall of Fame point guard who's never won a ring. And no one thought he was going to win a ring with the Suns, and yet here he is playing point guard, orchestrating a masterful offense, and I'm not going to pretend that I saw this coming. When they made the, was it a trade or was it a free agent signing? No, it was a trade, yeah. When they made the trade in the offseason, I was weary. And the reason I was weary is because he's notoriously injury prone, especially when the going gets really tough. Back when he was with the Rockets, he should have won a ring, but he got hurt. And there was way more evidence to show him getting hurt than there was to show him not getting hurt. In round 1, when he hurt his shoulder in game 2, I thought it was over. I thought the Suns were going to lose in 5 and everything was going to come crashing down, and the Suns wasted $44 million on a 35-year-old point guard who's 6'1". But no, it didn't happen. The Suns were able to bounce back without Paul. Davis got hurt, and people started to use that as a crutch, even though Paul was hurt for pretty much the same amount of time, if not more, so I don't get that argument. It's a sign you don't watch the series. Yeah, Chris Paul's playing really well. 19 points, 8 assists per game. He's shooting 44% from 3, averaging over 1.2 steals a game. 1.3 is what it says right now. He's playing exceptional. DeAndre Ayton. So, fun fact. Ayton was the number 1 overall pick in 2018, I believe it was. He's been in the league for 3 years. I tried going back in history and trying to find the last time a number 1 overall pick was starting in the finals within 3 years of their career. Because you think the best player in the league, at least in a draft class, are they able to take the worst team in the league and put them right up at the top? Like, how often does that happen? And the answer is not very often. You have to go all the way back to the year 2000 with Kenyon Martin in the New Jersey Nets. That's the last time it's happened. LeBron James did not do it. Dwight Howard didn't do it. Ben Simmons hasn't done it. I mean, there's lots of great players. John Wall. Kyrie Irving almost did it. It took him like 6 years, I believe. 4 to 6, somewhere in that range. And it took also LeBron James. It's a really, really hard feat to accomplish. And it's funny because he's had his name dragged through the mud a little bit. Because Luka Doncic is great. Luka Doncic is an amazing player. He gets enough credit. All right, cool. Trae Young is also amazing. Trae Young is a spectacular player. All right, cool. DeAndre Ayton's a great player. And DeAndre Ayton is starting in the finals and on pace to win a championship as a 22-year-old. That is quite the accomplishment, and I hope he gets more credit for it. 16 points, 12 rebounds a game. I remember it was about a year ago. I left a comment on another big-name YouTuber who is dragging Ayton's name through the mud, and I left a comment just saying, okay, it sounds kind of nerdy, but I kind of just refuted his statement and gave him some evidence from past games against good centers around the league, saying he's not a bad center. He can play against the best players in the league. It's just the team's not very good because the Suns were not very good. And the guy just kind of dismissed it and said, oh, he's just putting up empty stats. I don't care about that, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't equal winning. And yet here he is. So what do you know? Mikal Bridges, 24-year-old. I think he's in his 4th year in the league. Let me double check that. I have the internet right here at my fingers. I might as well get you the right stats. No, he's only in his 3rd year in the league, and he's a starting defensive whiz, and he's going to win a ring. Or he could win a ring. Jay Crowder, he's been around for quite a while, playing on a lot of really good teams, and he's never got to the very top of the league. He was with a good Celtics team, a good Jazz team, a good Heat team, and now he's with the best Suns team. Cameron Payne, a zero to hero story. He was a hotshot high schooler, out of the league a few years in, and then now he's back and he's really proving that he belongs in the NBA this season, and he's having a great postseason run. Played very well in the absence of Chris Paul for a couple games. Cameron Johnson, people thought he was drafted way too high. Here he is averaging 8 points a game on a 50-45 shooting split. I'll take that. I will definitely take that. Dario Saric, remember when the process threw him to the wayside to Minnesota? And now here he is. Now he just tore his ACL, unfortunately, but he has a big role with the team that's going to win a championship. Torrey Craig, funny story, he was on the Bucks earlier this year, so actually he's going to get a ring no matter what. He played really well. And then we get to a bunch of oddball guys. So I do want to mention Frank Kaminsky. This season, or right before the season began, Frank Kaminsky was waived by the Sacramento Kings, and I read a Basketball Reference article saying, Frank Kaminsky in talks with signing with a Turkish team. And I was thinking in my head, oh man, that sucks. He was a number 4 overall pick, I believe. He had every opportunity in the world, and he just underperformed, and he's going to Turkey. His NBA career is probably over. But the Suns were like, why not? And gave him a little contract, and here he is, playing big minutes now that both Sarge and Craig are hurt in the finals, possibly going to win a championship. It's pretty exciting. I'm a little biased, so I'm going to try to flip the script now and talk about the Milwaukee Bucks, because I do like the Milwaukee Bucks. If the Suns were out and the Bucks were playing just about any other Western Conference team, I'd probably be rooting for the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo has played amazingly this postseason, minus his free throw shooting, of course. 28 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists per game on a 55% field goal percentage. We're going to ignore that 19% three-point shot and that 55% foul line shot. But Giannis is playing phenomenally. It really sucks that he's hurt. History turns a blind eye to the fact that he was hurt last year and still did spectacular. Giannis is a great player. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have enough around him and that he's hurt. If he was 100% healthy, the Suns would still win. But it would be more exciting because we'd get to see a non-hobbled Giannis in the finals, and he's due. He is completely due. If the Suns were not in the finals right now, oh my gosh, I would want Giannis to win it all. I think he deserves it, but I don't think it's going to happen. Not this year. Chris Middleton, he's had a shaky postseason. He's putting up 23, 7 and 5 with 1.5 steals a game. Okay, he's playing really well if you just look at those numbers. A 43-33 shooting split isn't bad, but he just has games where he falls apart. He's great one game and he's useless the next, and it's just not gonna work. Unfortunately, it's just not gonna work. And Jrue Holiday has just been bad. You hate to see it, but he has just been bad. He's putting up 17, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 1.4 steals. I mean, his floor game is good, don't get me wrong, but he's just been bad shooting the ball. Middleton and Holiday are two guys who are pretty much in the exact same camp. Really good, respected players who are barely all-stars on the best of years, and I would like to see them win a ring, but they're not gonna right now. Brook Lopez is kind of similar position. I really like Brook Lopez. He completely turned his career around. One of the first videos I made on this channel was a little top 20 free agents available list before he even signed with the Bucks. It was way back in the summer of 2018. And I remember the way I described Lopez was he's a very big, very okay three-point shooter. That's what he was. And he still pretty much is that. But now his rim protecting ability has just skyrocketed. He is a great rim protector. His rebounding is getting a little better in the postseason, I've noticed, as he's realized, like, man, I got to grab some rebounds if we want to win this game. And he had that one really big game against the, who was it? The Sixers? I think it was the Sixers. It might not have been the Sixers. It was the Sixers. No, it was the Hawks. It was the Hawks. Brook Lopez is going to win a ring eventually, but it's not going to be this year. Bobby Portis, I'm really not a fan of Bobby Portis, but hey, he's not going to win a ring, so I guess it all works out in the end. Bryn Forbes, I like Bryn Forbes. Young, actually, he's not that young. He's 27. He could have fooled me. How long has he been in the league? He entered the league as a 23-year-old, and he barely played that first year, so that's why it doesn't seem like he's been around very long. Pat Connaughton, oh man, it'd be cool. My little fan theory here, fan fiction right now. Pat Connaughton wins the championship with the Milwaukee Bucks, and then he kind of fizzles out of the NBA because, I mean, he's a good player, but he's not great. I don't think he'll have I don't think he'll play when he's 35. That's just, bold statement right there. But as a 35-year-old, he could still be playing baseball. He was a minor league baseball pitcher. What if he gets picked up by the Milwaukee Brewers and wins a World Series? I mean, wouldn't that be cool? An NBA champion and a World Series champion in the same city? I don't think that's ever been done. I think that'd be pretty neat. Brewers need to look into that. PJ Tucker, I don't like PJ Tucker, so hey, he's not playing great. That's good for me. And then other guys on the team that I like Jeff Teague. I want to see Jeff Teague win. Unfortunately, this is not going to be that year. He is getting slandered. Oh my gosh, some people, it's become a joke between certain YouTubers just talking about why is Jeff Teague on the court in the playoffs. He used to be a really good player, but I think everyone forgets that because his good years were with Atlanta, and I don't think anyone cared about what Atlanta was doing in the early 2010s. I don't think anyone cared, unfortunately. And then the only other guy I want to mention is Thanasis Antetokounmpo, the older brother of Giannis. He is barely holding on to an NBA career by the skin of Giannis's teeth. I think that this may have been his last opportunity to win a ring, because the Bucks have no reason to bring him back. If the Bucks want to play the brother card for longer, it's going to be through Kostas, or it's going to be through the youngest brother, because it just doesn't make sense to have someone so old on your bench and not play. I would have really loved to see Thanasis and Giannis win a championship together. That would have been super, super cool. But it's not going to happen this year because the Phoenix Suns are going to win the NBA championship for the first time in the history of the world, and they are going to get it done in the legendary Suns in 4. Suns are going to win in 4. Final answer. All right, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you are enjoying the finals just as much as I am. I wish the games would turn on earlier because they start at 9 o'clock out here in the East, and I just absolutely hate staying up till midnight every single stinking night there's basketball. I wish I could go to bed at like 10 because I'm a child, I guess. But yeah, Let me know down below who you think is going to win the finals. Who you think is going to win finals MVP. I'm just going to cast my ballot right now. It's worth 0.00001 vote. I'm voting for Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker deserves it. It wouldn't shock me if they give it to Chris Paul because he's old. It's kind of like the Andre Iguodala finals MVP, whatever. It's an award. Awards don't even matter in the long run. But if we are truly going to give it to the best player in the finals, it's going to be Devin Booker. If the Bucks somehow make a miraculous comeback and win this series in like 6 or 7 games, that'll be heartbreaking and I'll be very upset, but it would go to Giannis because they're not doing it without Giannis playing crazy. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.